we'll start with this first.
You know what? Oh, okay.
This is Stink Brain. So what you'll find with Nokko is he's a very fun guy, and he's throwing all his different mushroom kinds so that you're sort of making a garden of fungi around the battlefield. They each have different effects. Steve, do you want to read them off the sheet?
Yeah, Stink Brain, I kind of knew this anyway, but it throws a mushroom periodically, sheds.
Build into something you can survive, something you can CC enemies with, and if you get momentum going with the
Yeah, you can plant one little shroom garden, right?
shroom garden, and then you can survive. This will allow you to survive fully, and then you can just kind of.
It's great.
He's cute. I'll get into him when we get. This is pretty low-level content right now. I can get into the higher stuff with later.
Spore Spring unleashes a chaotic ballistic mushroom that seeks enemies and bounces explosively off whatever it touches.
So this is basically like, if you can imagine the wind-up of just the most chaos. If it bounces on enemies, mushrooms, it's so it basically diddle-diddle. This would be a fun enemies to use it on.
That sounded like a triggered vibration.
Orders may sound a little, refreshed. Even cephalons can retire. Tenno, orders may sound a little, refreshed. Even cephalons can retire.
entire damage for the entire damage attack. So basically you can use that to be like fully protected as long as you're getting orbs, which is pretty easy to do when you have Fallout, or later we'll talk about some other way to get There's an Eximus, which is a good target to use it on. So you see when I cast it, it immediately removed all of his overguard in one shot, and it does percentage damage and then does a secondary hit around them for that percentage of damage to enemies around it. So you want to use it on units that have a lot of health, so that the damage then they deal around them is higher. See here? There you go. So the entire overguard is gone, and you see it killed a bunch of enemies around it because so right now the heal is even double right now. You can see I cast it this way. What is this? Hallowed ground is now a circle. No longer a cone. You no longer need to mod extreme ranges to cover the area. It is now always radial, so much easier to maintain. We also improved quite a bit how it works on separate distances like that, so you can see it actually went up here to protect, and it's no longer it used to have a lot of issues when you try to use it in different elevations. So now it actually has renewal. So renewal is a heal over time. It now applies on affinity range instead of a fixed range. The ability cost is now fixed. It doesn't change. Before it increased for every ally that got it. So if you had any party members with summons and stuff like that, it could get extremely expensive for you to sustain the ability. So you no longer have that problem. You also don't need to recast if they lose it before you had to. His fourth ability now has line of sight, so you have to be careful where you use it. Now when you use it, it will always strip armor, which I guess I didn't choose the best place to showcase that because they don't have armor, but the armor strip no longer requires you to have them on the grass. It will work in any situation. It does way more damage now, something like more than triple, I think, and also scales based on how many stacks of radiation they have on them, so that deals even more damage. It also gives you armor for every enemy.
What need has a devil for forgiveness? When hell is a lie spun by madmen.